Hey everyone, my name is Dale Blassingame and I'm your instructor for this 1 hour short course as part of our short course series here in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be discussing social media certifications, and you're going to get a lot of experience not only learning about these different platforms and skills needed to succeed in social media as a profession, but also you're going to get those certificates to add to your resumes. So that should be a win-win for you in terms of this. So this is our first time to teach this class. So I'm excited for y'all to be a part of it, excited to put this course together, and looking forward to having some fun and learning a lot over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, my name is Dale. I recognize several of y'all in the class, but for those of y'all who don't know me, I'm on our digital media innovation faculty here at the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I also created our social media and analytics course that I'm sure many of y'all have taken. And this is kind of a natural product to be born out of that class, is an additional add-on to it where we can spend some time focusing on things that you can do as you're getting ready for graduation and to start looking for that first job in the field. A little bit of information about the class itself. It's going to be online only, so we will not be meeting at all other than face-to-face interaction via these videos. And also we'll have some discussions on the Facebook group, which we'll talk about here in just a second. It's going to be 3 weeks, so we're starting today on Monday, April 9th, and then we'll have 5 modules over the next 3 weeks for you to complete. As for my role, I'm basically going to be a tour guide, kind of leading you through all of the clutter that comes along with trying to decipher which of these certifications are worth doing, which ones are good, which ones will help you, which ones give you the information that you're probably expecting out of this. So I've gone through and selected a big number of these lessons for you to do, but it is going to be a lot of self-learning. It's going to be time management skills. It's going to be going through, making sure that you're paying attention to the material that's being presented to you, taking some tests through the platforms themselves, and then hopefully getting those certifications there at the end. As I've gone through and developed this course, I've tried to find a nice balance between platform-specific certifications and skill-based certifications. So there will be times where we're talking about Facebook specifically or Twitter specifically, but there will also be modules or lessons where you're focusing more on social media skills and lessons that you can learn from those as well. One other thing that I would tell you is that class is good for a mix of disciplines. So it doesn't matter if you're an electronic media major or a DMI major or advertising or public relations or just general mass comm or journalism. We're going to cover a little bit of everything in this class. So I think that should be good and expose you to maybe some new things that you hadn't thought about if that's not your specific sequence that you're a part of. In the end, my goal for this class, one, is to help you build a better resume and to get you prepared for, like I said, that first job that you're probably going to be looking for. And I want you to start thinking critically about not just platforms, but strategies as well. What do you need to know in order to do a job effectively and be productive and know this before you go into an internship or a job, so that you already have this really solid set of skills based around these, critical thinking, critical application of these ideas that we'll be covering over the next 3 weeks in lessons. The things that we're going to be focusing on, so the certifications you'll be getting at the end of this. There will be the Facebook for Journalists certification, which will be Module 1. Facebook Blueprint will also be part of Module 1. You'll be taking the Twitter Flight School certification, which that will be Module 2. We will have Hootsuite, both the platform and social media training as part of that. There will be some specific HubSpot certification trainings on skills like email, newsletters, and inbound and outbound certifications. And then we'll end with Google Analytics, both the beginner and the advanced trainings that are a part of that. In terms of grades, 70% of the class are the certificates themselves. So if you're doing the work and getting the certificates, I will walk you through the instructions in the modules of how to submit those certificates, but that is the biggest part of the class. 20% will be quizzes that I have written based on the material. So I've gone through all these certificates just like you're doing, and I'm pulling apart the things that I think are kind of big picture strategy based ideas that you should know and be able to be talking about in interviews or in a potential job situation. And then we'll have some discussions, and I encourage you to take part in everything that the other students are submitting as well. So commenting on other students' discussion points and making sure you're putting in effort with that. So 70% is certificates, 20% is the quizzes, and 10% are those discussions on the Facebook group. I mentioned that this is going to be a lot of self-learning. So again, that's going to come down to time management and making sure you're meeting deadlines. So some of these modules are going to take you a while to do. You don't have to do them all in one sitting, but I will have very detailed deadlines. So for instance, modules 1 and 2 need to be completed by Friday, April 13th at 11:59, meaning you'll have the whole first week to do those. If you wait to start Friday evening, you're not going to finish in time. So I try to give you a pretty decent heads up of how much time each module will probably take you. So please keep that in mind. Make sure you're paying attention to time management and giving each of these lessons the due diligence that it needs in order for you to truly grasp this material and not just be flying through it and kind of cheating the system that way. Last thing I want to mention is we do have a Facebook group, which I have sent out, and I know many of you have already joined. If you have yet to do that, you'll see the link here in this Introductions tab, so please make sure and request access to that Facebook intro group. And finally, we'll have an introductory post here as part of this. So I want you to tell me who you are, where you're from, what you're studying, what you hope to do. And then I also need you to let me know if you already have some of these certifications. I realize some classes have you get some of these certifications, particularly the Google Analytics certification. So if you already have the beginner Google Analytics certification, I need to know that, and I will find alternatives for you to do so that you're not, wasting time or doing double work that you've already completed at another point in one of your classes. So we'll get that handled as well. So welcome to the class. Excited to teach this. Excited to see how much y'all learn over the next couple of weeks. And let me know if you have any questions or comments.